Okay, Mason. Why would public service broadcasting be an advantage to a director of a company thinking of branching out into producing media content?
Well, it refers to broadcast intended for public benefit, and rather to serve purely commercial interests like BBC, TV, they have a public service remit, so including broadcast digitally. So I think it'll be good for directors, like if you're going to make a film, it'll be good for BBC because BBC's popular, and I think it will produce good media content.
Okay, good. And why would a director consider branching out into commercial TV or film?
Well, I understand why, but I would say they would do ITV because I think if they want to do TV or film, because ITV does TV and film, they can do TV and also commercial because they do commercial through films and random series. So yeah, and also ITV is probably one of the most popular commercial programs in the whole world, and also it's free. It's not like Sky. It's like just like some ordinary TV, you can just watch it, so it'll be very populated.
So it could get a larger audience.
Large audience.
Good answer, good. And if the director worked for a small company, would they be better off working with an independent, corporate, or global company?
I would say corporates. I would say because it's a large company and it's like it could be a large group, so large people, they have different reasons, like different ways to help that small company. So then it will get them started and that, because it's like a large company, they've had experience and that, so they could go and help small companies.
So why would a corporate video benefit a small company? What is a corporate video?
It's corporate video. Is it? I think it's a corporate video. I think it's something like you can tell like lots of people have been working on it, like because since corporate is like a large company, it's like it could be a big company, like it can help small companies, and a corporate video would be like, since it's a big company, you're going to have lots of people doing edit and loads of people filming it.
Okay, so yeah, the idea of a corporate video per se is more down the route. It's more as an advert for the company.
Yeah.
So if you're going to work with a corporate company, you can essentially sell it.
Yeah.
Similar to a commercial. Yeah. Okay. So if the director wanted to create a bigger marketing campaign, would you advise them to work with a horizontal company or a vertically integrated company?
I would say vertically integrated company, because horizontal is just like one thing, like because it's just like one thing you can do. It keeps doing it over and over again. But vertical, there's different stuff you can do with it. It has more types of production you can do. So like TV, film, anything like that. So then you got much more stuff. And like vertical, if it's something for like film or whatever. So if horizontal was just TV, if people doing film, they'll be like, oh, okay, I don't want to go with that. They'll just go vertical because there's much more stuff instead of just like one thing.
Good. And what about in terms of what they could actually, so you're saying, you're quite right, you can work with different sectors if you're vertically integrated. What about in terms of merchandise? Why would a vertically integrated company be better to work for?
Well, since I said that it's not just one thing, they could, if it's like a film, they can do advertisements or like stuff they can bring out for TV, making more money, and also since as I said, it's lots of other stuff they can do. They'll probably get much more populated. People would probably prefer going vertically.
Okay, good. You get a wider audience.
Yeah, wider audience. Okay.
Okay, good. What issues do you think there are in terms of monopolisation that could affect the impact of branching out into, say, TV or film?
Well, it would be hard to produce stuff because it's like a big company, and like there's other big companies as well. So it would be like hard for them to produce it because you've got other big companies doing it as well.
Can you give an example? Say, for example, if you were a news company, how could there be monopolisation in news?
you got like BBC News, and then like, because BBC News it starts at 6, and then you got like other news is like Good Morning Britain at like the start. So it's basically like the same news, but you got one in the morning and then you got one in the afternoon, in the evening. So I think an issue would be that like what is more popular? Are they trying to win like what news is better?
Okay, so it's a busy field, there'll be issues of targeting.
Because they're both big companies, you see, and they can have much better ideas.
So large competition. Yeah. Okay. Simply, what is a license fee?
Well, it's basically like, for example, TV license fee. Like you pay yearly for your TV because obviously you have to have a license, and yeah, I don't know how much it would be, but you'll probably have to pay like a yearly sum. So it's like for your TV, that's what it is.
A yearly sum to have
Yeah.
a TV. Okay. How could subscription offer a director continued audience reach?
If they make a subscription, like stuff like YouTube or Netflix or Amazon, like for example Netflix and YouTube, they put videos on, and the more videos they do, the more like they'll get like the more content. Like they may have lots of views on one video, lots of views on the other, and also if it's stuff like Netflix, there's lots of films, it can get very populated. Like and then that obviously gets them more money, especially for stuff like YouTube, because there's lots of YouTubers that get, you know, they have lots of subscribers and they get money for it. And also for Netflix, they do lots of good films, they get money for it. So if they subscribe, I think the very big advantage would be money and very populated. Because if they, in the future, if they keep doing it more, they get more subscriptions, more money, and they can do whatever they want and
Okay.
create better uploads for that money.
Okay, good. So there's a bigger future in
Big
subscription.
future.
Okay, good. What limitations are there for just using a pay-per-view?
Well, it would help them to get a private telecast, and they can purchase events, and they might not want to pay extra content. They might not want to pay extra content because pay-per-view, it helps them.
So it's an additional cost. Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying? So they might not want to pay.
They might not want to pay extra content because it might be, you know, like they want. This is probably like a lot of money, maybe.
Can you think of an example where they may already have a service that they're paying for, and then they'd have to pay more even still?
Like, well, TV, Sky, like Fox. Could be any. It could be like Virgin Media or
So when
or they
say
could have a subscription on other stuff like.
say they had a
Netflix.
Sky subscription,
Yeah.
can you think of an example where they'd still have to pay even more for a pay-per-view, even with a Sky?
Well, Sky, what you could do, same with Virgin Media, you can pay for channels, and like you can get rid of them channels, then you'll get less money. But if they want all the channels, they're gonna have to pay more, and also like box office and that on it, and also you can get Netflix on it as well, which make them get more money if they subscribe for it.
Okay, so there's additional costs on top of a subscription.
Mostly box office because that's like exclusive for that.
Okay, and they may not want to have to
Yeah.
pay more for that. Okay, good. Why might a director consider advertising?
Well, consider advertising. One big reason would probably be more money, and also like if they put it on a popular thing like ITV, as I said, it will get a big audience, and then they'll get them aware, making them more money. So if they don't advertise, you know, I wouldn't see the point because you're making more money, aren't you? So yeah, that's probably the only good advantage: money, getting a big audience.
Okay. Would product placements be viable for any company or just a select few?
It matters. It matters what company it is. If it's something like Asda or whatever, and they put it on not just ITV but other commercials. When they advertise, it might not be just as good because you've got other stuff like Tesco and Sainsbury's, and they're all like the same thing. But if it's something for like toothbrush company, I think there's only like a few. But no, toothpaste, sorry, because there's only like a few. If you're like what's that toothpaste called? Colgate, that's it. That's probably like one of the best toothpastes. That company, I think it will be a good advantage because that's like probably the best toothpaste you could buy. But as I said earlier, stuff like Asda and Tesco and Sainsbury's, they might have like better deals like on bread and
So
that.
how could Asda or Tesco use product placement in a show? Because this is what we're talking about here, not advertising, product placement. How can they get a product in a show?
Well, if they could. Well,
Or
first
film.
things first, they need to get it like very popular and people aware of it, and then so probably making it cheaper, like better deals, and making it actually on TV, then they can like do like a product placement for you know.
Can you think of an example of product placement in a film or TV?
I would say, like for example, like gaming consoles or whatever, like it could be a good like product placement because obviously lots of people see it on the TV and that, and it could be like a product placement where people go out and buy it and that.
Okay, so they'll see their favourite character playing it, and then they may want to go and buy it.
Yeah, it'd be very good.
Okay. All right then. What is private capital?
It's a private company that helps to create other companies like films. Like I think it's very good for people that have just started because it's a private company. No one knows. But one disadvantage is they could ask for like a lot of money. So you don't want to go for a private company that's too good that gives you more money. So a private capital is just helps other people create films. Not just films. It could be anything else really. But I chose film because I did a lot of research on that.
Okay, and tell me, private capital in film, why might it be a bit limiting to try and secure private capital? What might be difficult about that?
I think because one private capital could be difficult for them because, as I said, more money they have to spend on it, or maybe it could be harder for them to make it because it could be a private company that's not good for them.
So it might not be financially viable for a private company. So they're going to expect a return on profit, aren't they, if it's their money? And also it might be difficult to secure it because there's not as many companies out there willing to part money in this economic climate.
Especially if you're starting as well.
Just starting up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What financial aid is out there for directors of companies?
Stuff like the lottery and like stuff like competitions on the news. So for example, there's this thing called Good Morning Britain and they do competitions of winning £10,000, basically like the lottery. And then you have to pay like £1 a call, and I think you have to pay and you can pay for free for online. And it'll be good for them because lots of people are going to be voting. They're probably going to get more money than the actual money they're giving out anyway. So stuff like the lottery, well, since it's more money, it could be like $1 million. Lots of people are like, that's a really good amount of money. And they'll just go for it and they'll probably get much more money than the actual thing.
Okay, alrighty. And finally, what is development funding?
Development funding is basically when everything's done for the director, they get paid, and eventually they could use that money to pay for all the stuff they've used. They can pay for the cast, the crew. They could pay for like anything they've used or borrowed and that. So yeah.
At what stage would you get development funding? Would it be the beginning, middle, or end of your film?
The end, I would say, because would you say the end?
If it's development,
I would say the start of it, because then when if you say you're actors, you can give them the money and then it'll be like, okay, I can do this for the cast and crew, they can do it, and also you can also for the start, if you're getting like cameras and stuff, you could just pay for one because you're getting money and you can use it for like other films for like for that director, or like not just films, other TV series. Like EastEnders, they can get their development funding at the start, and then they can go and pay for like cameras and stuff. And
good. So we're securing the equipment and the crew and talent.
I think it'll be
at the start.
I think otherwise it'll be better at the start. Yeah. Otherwise, what are you going to do?
Okay, good. You've shown good understanding overall, Mason. Well done. Thank you.